In this video, David Schwartz kicks off the Forbes Blockchain 50 with lessons learned from building on the blockchain. Also, Brian Brooks, acting comptroller of the currency, lets another cat out of the bag. Also, banks caught red-handed. Is the CIA getting in the blockchain? Let's find out. Let's go.
And now, the XRP Minute with Chip on the Chain.
Chip here with the XRP Minute. If it's your first time here, please like, subscribe, and click that notification bell. You'll be notified of any future video drops. Also, the best way you can support this channel is to share this video. Now, let's dive headfirst into shallow end for maximum impact. Ripple put this tweet out. Joel Katz, better known as David Schwartz, kicks off the Forbes Blockchain 50. Put this tweet out. This is happening on September 22nd at 11 a.m. PST, which is Pacific Standard Time, which is 2 p.m. Eastern Time, New York time. So this is the 2020 Forbes Blockchain 50 Symposium. According to their paragraph here, there's never been a more exciting time to be entrenched in the blockchain universe, and we want to celebrate. Join us as we honor the newest members of the 2020 Forbes Blockchain 50 list and discuss with key industry leaders profitable strategies for moving forward with the new decade. Now, this is a virtual gathering. Obviously, they're not going to be assembling some giant crowd in a hall somewhere, and they're going to have some good conversations. And this is something you can register for. Click down below for the link. So some of the folks in here: Joe Lubin, who's the co-founder of Ethereum; you got Zhu Wang, who is the FinLab China Construction Bank. And then look at this. Who do we have here? Boom, David Schwartz right there from Ripple. There he is, look at him with this little sweater on, looking cool, and a bunch of people. This looks to be a pretty good thing. You can scroll down to the bottom here. Here's the agenda: infrastructure players, CBDCs, the new genetic code of money. Then enterprise blockchain leaders, tales from the crypto, not the crypt, but the crypto. So there you go. So it's gonna be it should be a pretty good little thing to check out. And you can go ahead and register for that. Now, Brian Brooks, the U.S. banks can now hold reserve funds for stablecoin issuers, says the federal regulator. That regulator is none other than Brian Brooks. He is none other than the acting comptroller of the currency, right? So federally chartered banks can now hold reserve funds for stablecoin issuers, according to new guidance from the U.S. Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. Now, this opinion provides greater regulatory certainty for banks within the federal banking system to provide those client services in a safe and sound manner, said Brian Brooks. Now, the letter stressed that banks are cleared to hold such reserves, provided that the insurer has sufficient assets backing the stablecoin in a situation where there's a hosted wallet. There could be some potential risk here for banks. But again, we've heard there's so many of these stable coins out there. Tether and Tezos and these stable coins, right? They're backed by something, whether it's backed 1-to-1 or pegged to a US dollar. They're going to be able to hold those reserves into a bank. I think this will provide really greater clarity and transparency all the way around. So we found out that banks can custody crypto, and then boom, Brian Brooks turns around and hits us with now chartered banks can hold reserve funds for these stablecoin issuers. This is pretty good. I actually like it because I think it will bring some transparency, which is well needed. Here's the full letter from the Office of the Comptroller. Again, that link is below as well. You can check that out, download it, and read it. CIA, so they have a new research lab to study blockchain. And first opinion of this was on that headline. I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. CIA, they're probably going to go bash in the crypto, with how nefarious Bitcoin is and, tracking stuff on the blockchain. But couldn't have been more wrong, actually. The Central Intelligence Agency, better known as the CIA, they launched this new research development laboratory. Now, the lab will research distributed ledger / blockchain enabled technology. Also, other tech stacks such as wireless telecommunications, quantum computing, artificial intelligence, etc. Now, this is key right here. Officers who develop tech innovations in the lab, they're going to be permitted to patent, disclose, and partially profit. That's key. Partially profit from their work, according to the MIT review. And this is big because now, if you know, anytime you have a patent, the person who invented it or persons who invented it, their name always is on the patent. However, they may not own the rights. They may be working under a corporation And that's where, no matter whether their name's on the patent or not, every company has different rules and regs about how that's going to work, their own internal. So this will give the CIA useful incentive to woo the tech talent that might otherwise have turned to Silicon Valley giants. So right now, they're tasked with the whole idea of trying to get this talent. How do you do that? You got to dangle some kind of a carrot. So being able to partially profit, being able to have your name on it, and be credited for the invention, and even be able to publicly disclose that is huge. Who wants to go work where you develop the greatest thing in the entire world and nobody knows about it? The CIA, one of the U.S. intelligence community's 2 code-breaking hubs, would take an interest in researching this technology secured by cryptography should come as no surprise to observers. So they say it shouldn't come as a surprise, but I think this new slant on it, I guess they were kind of forced on this one, but I like the idea that they're offering this to developers and engineers that they bring in. So Julia Chatterley, she's had Brad Garlinghouse on quite a bit. She's from CNN, and she had this, I actually tweeted this out. I said, move along, nothing to see here. Well, it turns out that the world's biggest banks flagged $2 trillion worth of transactions as suspicious behavior. Now, who are these banks? Well, we have Deutsche Bank, JP Morgan, HSBC, and BCS, just to name a few, right? Just to name a few. So HSBC, for example, is going to end up paying a $1.9 billion US fine. Now, again, we've always heard how the banks are regulated and above board. Meanwhile, they're getting flagged for all these nefarious things. And on this show, I have brought up countless times just looking at how much banks get fined in a calendar year. It's outrageous, right? But we've always heard that, oh, no, it's cryptocurrencies that are bad. Well, cryptocurrency has a long way to go to catch up with just the fines that are getting levied this year. This is insane. Now, Deutsche Bank, check this out. Deutsche Bank tops the list. Deutsche Bank appears to have facilitated, more than half of the $2 trillion in suspicious transactions that were flagged to the U.S. government. Now, I'm not a math genius here, but I'm telling you what, if I say half of $2 trillion, that's $1 trillion. $1 trillion that they're basically laundering, or some nefarious things are going on there. That's kind of crazy. I found this violation tracker. This one is just HSBC. Now, this doesn't necessarily have all of them, but check this out. There's $6 billion in penalties just since 2000. And that's just one bank. FinCEN. So 5 banks processed more suspicious money than anyone else in the league. There was a leak of all this data. Not a bad leak, but this is from FinCEN. And other banks included Societe Generale, HSBC, Slate Street. Just look at the banks here. And China Investment Corporation also processed billions with a B. That is outrageous. So the leaked HSBC moved money from the WCM 777 Ponzi scheme that victimized thousands. Yeah, a bank did this. You're probably thinking to yourself, well, wait a minute. Yeah, banks do this. They certainly can get away with it. They may not willingly do it. Who knows? Banks are pretty big. But the fact is, they have been caught more times often than not with their hand in the cookie jar, red-handed, taking stuff, especially when you have victims with these Ponzi schemes and they're right in there and they're the ones. And so what do we see with this, takeaways today? First of all, you're seeing Brian Brooks acting. He's not somebody that talked about, something happening over the course of 3 years. I'm not mentioning any names, but some people have been talking about it. Proposals. Brian Brooks is a man of action, and he said a couple weeks ago, I think it was about a week and a half ago, at the American Bankers Conference that he presented for a half hour on, he said, expect more regulations to come in weeks, not months. And boom, we already see something like this happening, which is really good. We're seeing the CIA starting to take blockchain serious, so serious, in fact, that they're looking to attract talent. That's my take. Let me know what you think down below. I want to hear from you, and I will go ahead. I'll see you on the next one. But share this first. Thanks. I'm out.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.